Hey everybody, welcome to my channel here. Got a short video today. Want to talk about this newest project that I just finished, the 100 mics for vocal narration and speech. So basically what I did was I put together 100 microphones from all differing groups, sizes, price points. I got some USB, regular condenser, some classic dynamics for broadcast, put them all together, compared them all, wanted to hear, the difference between patterns, quality, build, just threw a whole bunch of mics in there that I've always wanted to hear, and then sorted it so I can hear all of them against each other. So super fun project that I got to do. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an origin story here, and then offer them up for anybody who would like to get the file so they can do a comparison themselves, especially if you're looking for something that might be, specific to a project, or maybe you're just getting started. Really, this is for you. So how it really started was, I've been doing some Zoom meetings and some other things, and I really don't have a lot of stuff that's in between my interface and the microphone itself. So was just kind of looking for something that was going to be the most natural fit my vocal range, which, as you can hear, I've got a lot of bottom end in there. But most of the stuff that I was looking for was I was getting these crazy buzzwords like warm, bright, clean. What does that even mean? So put this project together to kind of help unpack a little bit of that, and then make sure that it was something that I could show other people and have them be able to check for themselves. So really, there was a whole bunch of mics that were in here. Started with some classic stuff and ended up getting up into the $10,000 range for a couple mics. So found a few that were like clones of other mics. So it's really hard to get an original 251, for example. So I found 3 different ones that are basically modeled clones. They say, if I switch these parts in and out, I'm gonna have something that sounds the same. Is that really true? The other one too is we've got some microphones that have kind of been marginalized. They've fallen off the list for a lot of folks. Like, what does an SM58 really sound like against some of the other handheld dynamics and even some of the other really great condenser mics that are out there. Then we also have some that are now being pushed these days as being like, these are for speech, these are for broadcast. Well, how do they stack up to kind of some of the regular stuff that's out there? So don't want to put in a lot of energy and effort into EQing and things like that when you're in the studio. So being able to pick the right mic quickly and efficiently really helps to cut down some of the overall cost. So FET versus tube, what's the difference in that? Solid state, or do I need an actual power supply to run it? So all of this was kind of based off of budgeting, right? So I talk to a lot of folks every day who are saying, hey, I'd like to get into it for the first time, don't have any gear, just really excited to give it a shot. What would you suggest that I get? So I started with a really budget friendly interface, a Persona 68C, just running into a MacBook Pro, recorded everything into Logic. So it's I've got a boom arm that has an integrated cable from Gator Frameworks, and then pop filter. If it had a pop filter that came with it, like the Rode NT1A is like a whole bundle, I would put that pop screen on there. But otherwise, I just have standard run-of-the-mill. Had this thing for probably about 20 years now, still kicking, doing good. So use that. So pop filter on everything to help tamp down those plosives. And then, as you can see, I'm in an extremely untreated room. So every single microphone was in an untreated room. So you're going to hear some HVAC noise, some other things. So really real-world application. Didn't want to do this like unobtainium thing where it's like, I rent out a high-end studio and do this microphone shootout. Like, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do it for just normal users who I speak with every day. Help you guys out. And then I learned a bunch of stuff in the process. So super fun project to work with. So just not a crazy narration. So one of the things I had to do was make sure that it was very scientific-y, right? So following a method that was consistent across the board. So distances, everything was the exact same distance. Everything was the exact same amplitude. So I wanted to have everything at that kind of like -12 range. So everything coming in -12 dB. Then I put it into Pro Tools and I used the super awesome gain plugin, normalized everything to 0 dB. So they're all at the exact same volume. The other thing too is I picked Narration. that would kind of force my voice into a little bit deeper character. So that way I had to kind of drop my volume so I could boost up the floor noise to see, exactly how it reacted. And then load it into some different DAWs to see if I could hear a difference. But I do have all those files available. If you want me, you just got to hit me up. I would love to get these out to you here. So let's kind of listen to a few of these microphone examples and see what I came up with. All right, so one of the first mics that I want to show is one of the classics. Everybody loves these things right now, the Shure SM7B. Just absolutely fantastic mic. So let's take a quick listen. This is the Shure SM7B. The end of time has come at last. Long ago in the Holy Scriptures, it was written that the fate of the world would not be swift and painless. All right, so immediately you just hear it just so big. It's got a great sound, super classic. Pretty obvious why a lot of folks really like this one. Well, we've got some other mics out there as well that are supposed to be kind of like an answer for other companies to that classic sound. So one of those, for example, is the PreSonus PD70. So check this one out. This is the PreSonus PD70. The end of time has come at last. Long ago in the Holy Scriptures. All right, so like almost immediately you start to hear that really, really high top end on this thing, and you lose a lot of the bottom end. So definitely something that you'd want to consider. So if you do have like a higher pitched voice, you may want to stick with the classic versus going to the PD70. But there's a lot of choices out there on how you use it. So definitely important to kind of know the difference. So now we have let's look at like an answer to that, which would be the RE20. So definitely another one of those classic microphones that are out there by Electro Voice. I mean, it was the standard for a lot of broadcasters for years and still continues to be. So let's check that one out. This is the EV RE20. The end of time has come at last. So hopefully you're listening with headphones when you're doing these comparisons here. You can already kind of hear that floor noise happening in there just as soon as I get it going. So let's see if we can kind of isolate that section a little bit. You hear that right at the beginning? Yeah, so that's something to note, something important. I mean, very different from the other two. So if you really want to get a good picture of it all as well, and it's also worth kind of a note on this is you'll notice I don't have anything on the channels themselves. Like there's no compression, there's no EQ, there's nothing. These were really just recorded in completely raw, no changes. So what I'm going to do is just as a comparison, I'm going to go ahead and throw a channel EQ on there because it has an analyzer built in. So when I play the microphone back, you can kind of also see what's going on. So you can see now that little bouncing section right here in that bottom part. So that's where all the floor noise is happening. So you can do all kinds of stuff. You can put in a high pass filter, try to cut all that out. Lots of stuff that you can do to try to tamp that down a little bit. All right, so the next group that I really want to show that, I really absolutely have loved these microphones is the Warm Audio mics. So these are some of my favorites right now. The Warm W8000 is based off of the Sony C800. Really, really high quality mic. The C800 is $10,000. The Warm Audio W8000, you're looking at about $1,100. So sounds like this. This is the Warm Audio WA8000. The end of time has come at last. Long ago in the Holy Scriptures, it was written that the fate of the world would not be swift and painless. Absolutely wonderful mic. Just about everything from the Warm Audio line I absolutely loved when I was doing the shootout. But, also would like to show you like some of the really high-end stuff. So what does an actual $10,000 mic sound like? So this is the Telefunken Elam 251. Outstanding mic. Tube mics aren't for everybody. So this is one of those cases where you can be the judge. This is the Telefunken Elam 251. The end of time has come at last. Long ago in the Holy Scriptures, it was written that the fate of the world would not be swift and painless. I mean, fantastic sounding microphone. Is it worth $10,000? It's really up to you, because I'm going to balance it against a microphone that is only $229. Probably one of the biggest surprises out there. Absolutely love it. It's the MXL Rev Mini. So this really is my favorite microphone from this entire experience, just because of the wow factor and the price point of $229. Sounds fantastic. This is the MXL Rev Mini. The end of time has come at last. Long ago in the Holy Scriptures, it was written that the fate of the world would not be swift and painless. I mean, outstanding microphone. Absolutely loved it. So I can't highly recommend it enough. If you're looking for a first starter mic, this would be a great one to go with. So now, with all of this being said, just want to make a note here. Absolutely loved doing this project. Absolutely happy to share the results with everybody that's out there. All you got to do is just give me a call, 260-217-2692. Be more than happy to send you a link to either Dropbox, Google Drive. Got a lot of options. Already have these pre-built into a bunch of DAWs as well, so it's really easy for me to kind of shoot that file out to you. All you got to do is give me a call. Microphones are, it's a huge world. There is so much hyperbole that's out there about them, but I just wanted to offer something that people could make their own informed decision, especially because we're working in more budget studios, home studios these days, rather than needing to pay a whole bunch of money and go to like one of those big studios where we're going to pay $1,500 an hour. Put that money into your own mics, put that money into your own gear. I'm telling you, this is something that everybody can learn out there. You just got to put in that energy and effort, and then give guys like me a call. Always happy to help you out with whatever gear needs you have. 260-217-2692. Thanks for watching.